Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Aaron Rian with the Brokerage House, and I help thousands of agents make millions of dollars in commissions in the real estate industry. And today, I'm here to talk to you about the fastest way to get leads if you're starting your career in real estate. Everybody knows that if you're in the real estate business, it is a lead generation business, right? If you're in real estate, truly, you're in the lead generation and lead conversion business, and the product you just happen to sell is real estate. So you have to focus on step number one, which is generating leads. So what are the quickest ways that you can get a lead? Well, there's a number of ways that you can get leads in the real estate business today. Unlike when I started, there was no internet, there was no lead services, there was none of that stuff. Today, there are so many ways that you can get leads. And I'll talk to you about some of the easiest ways to get leads today that can lead you to business and sales within the next week. So the first thing that you can do, if you're trying to get leads to build your business or to get a buyer or a seller. So we'll talk about buyers first. You can set up with a lead service. The two primary lead services that we found are Zillow and Realtor.com. Now they are taking their websites, which are big consumer interfaces, getting them to submit the consumer's information, like their name, their email, their phone number, and exactly what it is that they're looking for in the location that they're looking for it. And they're basically taking that lead and selling it to you as the realtor. Keep in mind, some of those are exclusive opportunities, meaning that you're the only agent that gets that lead, and some of them are shared leads, where there are multiple agents getting the leads. Keep in mind, when multiple agents are getting those leads, the critical thing to remember is speed to lead, meaning the first person to call that lead and get a hold of them typically wins. So you got to remember, if you're going to play the game of Zillow and Realtor.com, where you're going to have buyers coming to your email or your phone, you got to be fast and you got to be responsive. But it's a great way that if you want to get business in the next week, that you can generate some buyers that want to go buy real estate. So that would be probably the first way that I would tell you, if you are new to the business, you're just trying to pick up some extra business, that you should try to get clients. The second way, and it's my favorite way of being able to get clients, is just by picking up the phone and starting to prospect. And there are so many ways that you can actually prospect to get sellers in today's real estate market. So let's talk about those. So the first thing that you can do is you can call for sale by owners. It's a common practice amongst real estate agents to call for sale by owners. Keep in mind, those are people who already want to sell their house. They have a sign in their front yard that says, I want to sell my house and I'm trying to do it on my own. Now, keep in mind, some of those people might be trying to save on commission. They might not trust realtors. They might think that they can just do it themselves, or they might not know any better. Where you want to get those leads is when they've reached the end of their rope and they're frustrated and they know they can't do it on their own anymore moving forward. You want to catch them at that time, and you want to talk to them, build a relationship with them, and set a meeting. Get in front of them. Go tour their property. Talk to them, find out what they're looking to do, and see how you can be of service to them. If you do a good job, you'll get a listing. The next way, expired listings. An expired listing is great because they've already said, I need to use a realtor. I know I need to use a realtor, right? They were so dedicated to the process, they went the entire duration of their contract, and their contract did exactly what it's called. It expired. And so now they're off the market. They might be frustrated by their previous experience, but they still want to sell that property. They're a great lead source. I highly recommend that you call them and see how soon you can get out there and schedule a meeting. The third category is canceled listings. Now, these are people who have also raised their hand and said, look, I need to sell my house. Now, they've listed with a realtor, and somewhere during the contract term, either the realtor fired the client or the client fired the realtor. So you've got to find out what exactly happened and how you can reassure them that you won't let that happen with them again. But canceled listings are great lead sources because there's somebody who's willing, able, and kind of already knows the process that it takes to use a realtor and is willing to do that. And then the last one that I have that is one of my favorites is when you sell a house. I always looked at it this way. When I sell a piece of real estate, It is like my license to market that entire neighborhood. So what I would do is I would get a list of all the surrounding houses to the home I just sold. And I would call them and say, hey, Mr. Seller, I just sold your neighbor Jim's house over on Peachtree Street. The sale went great. I'm still working with a ton of buyers in this area. We had a lot of success. We got it sold in a few days. We got it sold for X amount of dollars. Can I ask you, sir, have you ever thought about perhaps getting your property sold? Circle prospecting is a little bit different because they haven't raised their hand and said, I need to sell. What you're trying to do is intrigue them or find out when they're thinking about selling, if they are. But they are a great lead source for you because you've already established yourself as an expert in their area. You sold one of their neighbor's house, and sometimes you can even be looked at as more of an acquaintance because, you worked with their friend Jim. So it's a little bit warmer of a lead a lot of times, especially if they knew your seller. So it's a great source of leads. Circle prospecting is not a bad way to go. Your conversion and success rate might be a little lower, but stick with it because it's going to work. If you're out there, you're thinking about getting into the real estate business, you want to start generating leads, you want to start, finding out how to be successful, my advice to you is you've got to get some leads. You either pick up the phone, get on a paid service, start getting leads in the door and understanding that you are in the lead generation and the lead conversion business, and the product that you just happen to sell is real estate. Okay? Once you figure that out, you'll have a pipeline full of buyers and a pipeline full of sellers, and that will lead to a pipeline full of commissions. So hopefully you found this information and this content to be helpful. If you have, please hit that thumbs up button down below and make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you have questions, you have comments, anything we talked about on the show today, you got questions about lead generation or lead conversion, leave them in the comments down below. We're happy to answer anything that you have. I want to thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a great day.